Released in 1999 and owing one hell of a debt to Seven is Resurrection, which brings together a great team from the movie Highlander, Russell Mulcahy and Christophe Lambert.
There can be only one.
As well as a host of other actors such as David Cronenberg, Leland Orser, Philip Williams from so many great movies, a great Canadian actor who was also in the McCain cake adverts. Put on a few pounds, but obviously he's eaten quite a lot of those cakes since his advert days, and we are thrown into a mysterious, unnamed big city, drenched constantly in rain, it seems most of the time, as we watch our main detective Prudhome, played by Christophe Lambert, as he investigates a series of grisly murders.
Any other family?
Contractor says the kid was the end of the line.
Anything taken?
You mean besides his arm? No.
And it's simultaneously kind of cheesy and very much a parody of Seven, while at the same time it has some really strong thriller elements, even though they're not original. Some tense sequences, some really great suspense moments, and some absolutely amazing gore. This thing goes really heavy on the body horror that happens in this one, and it's just, well, delightful. It's kind of cheesy but incredibly fun. I had a great deal of time watching Resurrection. Now, you get Christophe Lambert playing a cop with a troubled past.
No!
It makes me wonder if there's any other kind, and you get to see him in flashbacks of his tragedy that's befallen his life, as he looks out of a rain-soaked window, banging against it, shouting, "No!" One of those overly familiar kind of scenes you've seen in all these movies, which are absolutely great. Leland Orser, who from Seven as well, plays his partner in this one, and we open up to a series of ridiculous jokes within this one.
Hey, how's the blonde turn the lights on after sex? She opens the car door.
But to be honest, I kind of liked them, even though they were grating at times in this one. And to be honest, I really enjoyed the partnership between Lambert and Orser as they connected, as they kind of were the outsiders within the force. You know, Orser's character is the only one that's going to work with Prudhome, and he's a kind of loner cop, haunted by his past. And to watch this movie, there was so many times I was genuinely excited and thrilled with what was going on, and then there was other times when I was just killing myself laughing at it. There's a moment where Prudhome is trying to do sums.
4 plus 2 plus 7 plus 5, 6. Doesn't make sense.
It's so funny. It's just so funny. And then it kind of intersperses that with these horrific moments of gore. There's a moment with a guy that's had his leg freshly chopped off and the blood's squirting everywhere. It's kind of funny because it's hitting Prudhome in the face. The person's also dying, so you've got that kind of trauma put onto it.
Hang on! Oh, God! Hang on! Hang on!
It's just incredibly silly, fun, and really enjoyable. I could understand someone sitting down and either hating this or utterly loving it, depending on your view of movies and what you personally like. David Cronenberg comes into the movie as a priest at one point, really showing why he should be directing more than anything, because his stilted performance doesn't really add anything to the movie much, but other than going, hey, I know that guy from somewhere, he makes good movies. Mulcahy, he directs this with a little bit of style, adding a lot of various camera lenses into it, creating some interesting looks. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There is handheld moments which I really kind of liked between certain characters having conversations in a diner, and it's moving and juttering about, and as they're gesturing and following their hands, and then it jumps to like a steady shot, and it just feels a little bit off-putting, the fact that they've went from this kind of, you know, rough and ready exciting shot to something more stagnant, which just it didn't flow well within that edited piece of the movie. The standout for me was just the sense of fun within this one. I like these kind of movies, these kind of adult thrillers. I do enjoy them quite a lot, you know, whether it be Seven, whether it be Copycat, those kind of movies. And I think Lambert tries his best here and sometimes succeeds, sometimes doesn't. The movie, like I said, doesn't offer a great deal in the form of surprises, but I'll tell you what it does do. For the first, well, I don't know, well, you know, give it its due, most of the movie, this thing just moves. It doesn't give you a chance to stop and think, which is quite good, because there's a lot of things that if you had to actually stop and think about them, you would realise that they've kind of jumped to conclusions and they've got somewhere that's rather wacky, and you're not really too sure how they've got there, but you're glad they've moved the story along a little bit. I love all the kind of police cops, particularly Philip Williams, who is great as one of the kind of antagonistic cops at the start, but ultimately becomes to rely on Prudhome later on and allowing him into the investigation even more. This does, like I said, have lots of tropes. It has lots of familiar beats, but it treads those familiar beats really well. And like I said, it's driven with these kind of nicely directed scenes, moments that are filled with tension and suspense and left me wanting more, even up to the ridiculous finale, where a baby is literally hanging on by a leg. I'm not going to put anything in because it gives away the killer, and I don't want to give it away in case you're going to watch this movie, which I think you should. Resurrection was really fun. Is it a good movie? I don't think it is, but then again, it does have some really good qualities as well. I'm on the fence with this one. I did enjoy it a lot. I will watch it again. I thought it was well made, well constructed, a little bit tropey, a little bit over familiar, and a little bit contrived in moments, but still well worth checking out. I'd love to know your thoughts on Resurrection, and of course there's more videos up here for you to check out of my content. If you think I deserve it, hit this video with a like, because it really makes my day. And of course you can also share, subscribe, join the membership program, or Patreon if you really want to support me. Thanks very much, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.